So there's one set of feelings that don't get better as time goes on after my separation and divorce. Actually, they probably get harder and more difficult. So I've been separated now for 4 years, on my own for 4 years, and divorced. And it's not the feelings of loneliness. It's not the wanting somebody there, the companionship, somebody to talk to. It's the feeling of the kids going home back to their mums, or it's the feeling of the emptiness that they leave in me when they go. And that gets harder and harder. And as I suppose as I've started to become more used to the fact that I don't live with them and I don't see them every day and I don't get to, talk to them every day about the little things that are going on. As I get used to that, and as the years have gone on and I've started to get to grips with that, they've inevitably got older and they've started to move away. The relationship, no, that's not fair. The relationship started to change in so much as they're teenage lads now. My oldest is 17, he's nearly 18. My youngest is nearly 14. And they're getting their own social groups. They're getting their own things that they want to do. And that's hard. As I've got used to them not being in my life every day, as living with them and that dad figure, I'm now realising that they are young men and they are becoming independent young men, and they will move away from me. The relationship will change, and that's hard to sort of really get to grips with. But there's hope in that as well. My oldest, for example, he's got a lot of interests, where, first, when I've got them next weekend. So when we have them, the first thing is like, what you guys got planned? So I can then work out what we're going to do and how much time we're going to have together when they're with me. And I think he's becoming conscious that we're not having as much time together, because a couple of weeks ago he said to me, we go to the cinema fairly regularly. We both love movies. And we were talking the other week, and he said to me, Dad, can we go to the cinema more often? And I was like, yeah, of course we can. We'll see what's on and we can go. He said, can we go at least a couple of times a month? I was like, yeah, of course we can. And I was thinking about that the other day, and that sort of struck me a little bit. And I think what's happening there, he's becoming conscious that we're spending less time together as a family unit, I guess, when they're with me. And he's still wants to spend time with me, so he's seeking other things that we can do, or more of the things that we already do, so we can spend more time together. And that was lovely. That was a really lovely realisation for me, that even though our relationships are changing and their social activities are increasing, that he's still seeking that time with me, which is awesome. And I was talking to him last week, I think it was, and we were having a lovely little chat, and I said to him, I think we need to find something that we can do where we can just talk to each other, just me and him. So he went, he goes fishing, and went to do a bank party a couple of weeks ago, clearing the bank side and stuff. So he gave me and my youngest a chance to spend some time together. We went out for a lovely little walk on Sunday morning in the country, and it was lovely, and we just talked for a couple of hours about all sorts, and it was really nice. But then I realised me and my oldest don't get that kind of time together, and we need to find something, whether that is going for a walk or whether it's, I don't know, maybe going out for a meal or something where there's just me and him and we have the opportunity to just talk, because the cinema is an amazing thing and we love it and it's something we've got in common. But you can't talk in the cinema. Well, you shouldn't anyway, and if you do, then you should be hung, drawn and quartered. The cinema's not a social experience in that sense. So yeah, that's that's just something I wanted to talk about today, and I'm sure it's something that other guys have. Well, actually, there are other guys I know of that are struggling with that separation from your kids. And I think when the kids are younger, you can manage that and you can build routines around that, because they are still, if they're 6, 7, 8 years old, that you're still going to be there with them whenever they're with you. Whereas when they become 17, 14, 13, they don't want to spend as much time with you. They want to be with their friends and their other social groups. And that's really hard. It's that adjustment period that every parent will go through, be it a dad or a mum, that you realise they're just not that reliant on you anymore. They have other needs. And that's awesome. And I would say you've got to encourage that. They've got to have their circle of friends. They've got to have their social things. They've got to get out with them. But it's hard because you're sort of clinging on to that relationship that you used to have. And that relationship has gone and it's changing. So it's tough. It's hard to feel that relationship and it's hard to feel that separation and that distance. But it's also rewarding in the sense that they are becoming independent, but they're also then making overtures to wanting to spend more time with me in a different way, and that's encouraging. So I just wanted to, I suppose, get that out there a little bit, just for anyone that might be struggling with that kind of thing. That as long as you have you build a stable relationship with your kids, they'll always want to spend time with you in one form or another. Be interested to see, if any of you guys are going through something similar or have gone through it, and how you got to grips with your kids growing up and moving off into their own lives. And thanks for spending a bit of time with me. I'll see you soon.